Good evening and welcome to the April 20th Planning Board meeting. Nancy, please take it.
Commissioner Barra,
Present.
Commissioner Carpenter,
Present.
Commissioner Scholes,
Present.
and Chairman Leo.
Present. This evening, we have three items: is the approval of meeting minutes, 72 Marbledale Road and 7072 Marbledale Road, which are both returns. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes? Can I have a motion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Second. A second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So at this point, what we'd like to do is 7072 Marbledale, the subdivision. So since our last meeting, we received the drawings and the environmental drawings that were reviewed by our consultant, and he has some comments. So I know the applicant is going back and making some modifications to the drawings to address the comments generated by our consultant. Has anything else changed since our last application? Is it Brandeis?
No, good evening, Mr. Chairman, Steve Accinelli from Veneruso, Curto, Schwartz, and Curto on behalf of the applicant. There are no changes that I'm aware of. Len, that's correct, right?
That is correct. I mean, you have received the sign off by Frank DeMarco for the plantings on the site. You got that as well.
Yeah, I think the only issue we have at this time is the addressing the environmental from our consultant.
Yes.
Antonio?
Yep.
I received something late this afternoon from Mr. Oliveri saying that he had no problems with the stormwater.
Okay.
I can forward that to you in the morning.
Okay, great. All right. So at this point, any other items? Any other questions? Okay. Anyone from the planning board have any questions on this application?
I don't.
Okay. So at this point, I make a motion to open the public hearing. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. Is there anyone here from the public to speak in this application? I do not see anyone here. So at this point, I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So Ms. Susanna, would you like to read the secret?
Right, the resolution, right? That's what I'm reading? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's my first time.
Oh,
Okay, this approval is based on the following plans: SY001, SY002, A-0.
It's this one. I don't think it's this.
Oh, Lord. This one, I got it. Oh, I'm so confused.
Don't worry.
Resolution adopting a negative declaration under the State Environmental Quality Review Act for subdivision and site plans approval for 70 and 72 Marbledale Road. Whereas the Tuckahoe Village Department of Building received a building permit application received on December 29th, 2020 to demolish a portion of the vacant industrial building at 70 Marbledale Road and subdivide the property into two lots. Lot 1 will be the vacant portion of the lot, and Lot 2 includes the remaining portion of the building and dedicated space for off-street parking. Whereas the Tuckahoe Village Department of Building received a building permit application received on September 29th, 2020 to expand the existing pause and place facility into the repurposed building on Lot 2. The existing industrial building will be renovated and accommodate the expansion. Whereas the two buildings applications received by the Department of Buildings are being treated as one action under SEQR as they are related, and the consideration of potential environmental impact should not be segmented. Whereas the proposed action is the requesting of a subdivision and site plan approval as part of the plan to expand the existing pause and play facility and open lots 1 for further use. Whereas the purpose action is within 500 feet of the town of Eastchester. The application was sent to Westchester County on November 13th, 2020 for review under 239-M. Whereas the applicant, 3 area variances from the Zoning Board of Appeals. The variances are type 2 action and are exempt from SEQR. Whereas the approval of the proposal action is classified as an unlisted action under Part 617 of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR. Whereas under Tuckahoe Village law, the planning board is the only entity that can grant subdivision and site plan approval. Now, therefore, be it resolved that based on the information included in the EAF submitted by the applicant and the supplemental materials thereof and criteria contained in the State Environmental Quality Review Act and its implementing regulations, the planning board hereby adopts the attached negative declaration of the unlisted action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Hey, Ray, how are you? Nancy, please take roll.
Okay, Commissioner Nirenberg,
4.
Commissioner Barra. I think you're on mute.
4, I'm sorry.
Okay, Commissioner Carpenter. Commissioner Scholes
4.
and Chairman Leo.
In favor.
Okay.
Okay, so now at this point, can we read resolution? That's the 5-page one.
Me? That's me, all me?
You tonight.
Okay, that's the planning board resolution, right?
Correct, the 5-page one, the one we just made. That's
All right, I'll read it.
All
right. This approval is based on the following plans. SY.
Can you start from the top? Planning board village. of
Oh, I'm
Tuckahoe?
sorry, I'm sorry.
Please, no.
Just from the very top?
Yes, from the
The
very
village
top.
board took a, in the matter of the application of MSS Dog Group, Inc., doing business as Paws and Plays Pet Resort and Training Center, premises 72 Marbledale Road, Tuckahoe, New York. Applicant. Planning board resolution. This approval is based on the following plans. SY001, SY002, A-001, A-101, A-102, A-200, A-300, A-301, a stormwater management plan, 21521 and 3821. The applicant, MSS Dog Group, Inc., is the record owner of the premises commonly known as 72 Marbledale Road, Tuckahoe, New York, and known on the tax map of the Village of Tuckahoe as Section 35, Block 2, Lot 1, the premises. The applicant has received the necessary variances from the Village of Tuckahoe Zoning Board and has provided all the document plans and materials to this board so as this board can make a proper review under Section 7-1 of the zoning code. The applicant proposes to expand its current business by approximately taking 7,000 square feet of usable space from an attached existing and vacant industrial building. The remainder of the industrial building will be demolished. There will be no change in the current use as dog care center. There will be additional parking created on the northerly end of the property, which will alleviate any on-street parking issues that might occur because of the expansion. The curb cut to facilitate the new parking areas has been approved by the Department of Public Works. The plan and submission of the applicants were provided to the village planner, Noah Levine of BFJ Planning, the village consultant, Anthony Oliveri of Dolph, I don't want to botch anybody's name, Rutfeld Engineering PC, and Chief of the Tuckahoe Police, John Costanzo, and the head of the Department of Public Works, Frank DeMarco. All the consultants' name as well as the named department head have reviewed the plans, and any comments submitted have been addressed by the applicant, with the exception of Anthony Oliveri of AI Engineering, Inc., Dolph Rodfeld Engineering Division, which will addresses below to the satisfaction of the parties listed. There are no members of the public that have appeared in opposition of the project. Pursuant to the Village of Tuckahoe zoning code, the board must review the site plans pursuant to 7-1 of said code. The sections of the conclusions are as follows. Safe, adequate, and convenient vehicular and pedestrian traffic circulation, both within and without the site. The Village of Tuckahoe planners, BFJ Planning, have reviewed the project in conjunction with the effect of the project on local traffic. We agree with our planner that there will be no appreciable increase. I'm sorry, hold on. Wait a minute. I just lost it. Hold on. Sorry.
It's the last paragraph, third line down.
We agree with the planner that, right, that's where I was?
Yeah.
That there will be no appreciable increase in congestion and the traffic volume, and the profile will be very similar to the current traffic conditions. All traffic and circulation issues identified in the site plan approval process appear to have been resolved, and there's no outstanding objections with the site plan as proposed. The planning board found that the addition of the newly created parking area will alleviate any on-street parking issues. Furthermore, the applicant has revised initial plans at the planning board's recommendation to provide for a shared parking area for the future use of the newly created lot of the north to the north. This design approach may also eliminate the need for an additional curb cut along Marbledale Road for the further use of the newly formed lot. The applicant has made modifications to the proposal to minimize conflict between vehicles and pedestrians of the sidewalks through lighting, landscaping, and curb treatments. New sidewalks will also be installed. The site plans involve the demolition of parts of the vacant building along Marbledale Road. Removal of the building, which directly abuts the sidewalk, will provide more space for pedestrians. Removing the driveway at the Jackson Avenue intersection will also help to improve conditions for vehicles and pedestrians. B, the protection of environmental quality and the preservation and enhancements of property values in the neighboring area. The existing business is a great asset to the Marbledale corridor. It is a thriving business that have not had or incurred any complaints in the village regarding its operation. The expansion of the building, which is in need of repair, will be demolished. The demolished portion of the site will be appropriately landscaped and fenced as agreed by the applicant and planning board. The planning board acknowledges that this project will help to enhance the Marbledale Road corridor and surrounding neighborhood. This project is considered with the village long-term plans to revitalize the corridor as articulated in the Marbledale Road design guidelines, which were adopted into the comprehensive plan in 2019. The Marbledale Road design guidelines were used as a reference document during the review process. C, a quality of building an overall site design which will enhance and protect the character and property values of the adjacent neighborhood. The planning board should evaluate the architectural features and the proposed designs to determine if they are in harmony of the neighborhood, including consideration of architectural style, bulk dimensions, material, and location of the site, and in relation to development on adjoining properties, the natural terrain and vegetation. Oh my God, it's so hard for me to read on the iPad. The applicant, I did, but I didn't have the right one. The applicant has a business that is currently operating at the premises. The existing use is consistent with the existing zoning in the village comprehensive plan. As discussed, the applicant will expand into a vacant industrial building with the remainder of the building being demolished. The additional on the side parking will alleviate any issues with the street parking on Marbledale Road. Therefore, based on the foregoing, the application for site plans is approved of the following conditions. The building's inspector's satisfaction with the construction plan submitted by the applicant. The building inspector shall be mindful of the parking of construction workers offsite during construction of the building as to not interfere with the business.
I'm in a meeting. Huh? I'm in a meeting. Yeah.
This approval is conditioned on the applicant finalization on the street opening permits to the Department of Public Works. This board is also charged with reviewing and approving the stormwater plans submitted by the applicant. Said plans has been reviewed by the village engineer, Anthony Oliveri, and there are a number of outstanding issues as detailed in the memorandum circulated by Anthony Oliveri dated April 14th, 2021. This approval is conditioned upon applicants satisfying all of the outstanding issues addressed in said memorandum and any further requirements that may be required by Mr. Oliveri. If there's substantial changes to the site plans that are required after the applicant has complied with all requirements of Mr. Oliveri, then applicants must come back before this board to approve any substantial changes. Any minor changes may be approved by this board's chairperson. Further, applicant shall continue to be responsible to pay the village's consultant until this condition is satisfied. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the code requirement for the project to be substantially completed within 1 year shall be extended to a 2-year period from the issuance of the building permit for substantial completion. Applicant should file for permit to demolish the unused vacant portion of the building within 90 days of this approval. Lastly, that every representation made to this board by the applicant is a condition of this approval. Dated April 20th, 2021.
Okay, I make a motion to approve this application. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, Nancy, please take roll.
Yes. Commissioner Narenberg,
Ray, you're on mute, Ray.
Can you unmute him, Gary?
Four.
thank you. Commissioner Barra,
4.
Commissioner Carpenter,
Or
Commissioner Scholes,
4.
and Chairman Leo.
Favor. Okay, well, congratulations, guys. Hope you get started as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, so at this point, let's do 72 Marbledale. Okay, so has anything changed since this application, since we last spoke?
Not to my knowledge. Lenny, can you confirm that? But I'm not aware of any changes. You're muted, Len.
There's been no changes as far as I know.
Okay, does anyone from the board have any questions on this application?
No, not here.
No, good.
All right, so at this point, I make a motion to open the public hearing. Since I do not see any,
So move.
all in favor? Aye.
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 Since no one else here. I make a motion to close the public hearing. Can I have a second, please?
So move.
Second.
In favor? Aye.
Aye.
So Susanna, would you like to read the last one?
Sure.
Would you like?
Suzanne,
Does
you're doing-
anybody,
you're doing-
anybody
you're
else
doing a
want
great
to read
job,
it?
but- You're doing a great job, but I'll jump in if you want.
You can read if you want.
Hold on, let me open it up.
Thank you.
Well, you have it in front of you though. Hold on. Let me just,
I'll read it, Dave. That's fine. I'll read it.
I
Okay,
gotta open.
Oh, thank you, guys.
I'll read it. Planning Board, Village of Tuckahoe, New York, in the matter of the application of Compass One LLC, premises 70-72 Marbledale Road, Tuckahoe, New York, applicant. Planning Board Resolution Subdivision Approval. This approval is based on the following plan: SY-001, SY-002, Stormwater Management Plan dated 2/15/21 and 3/11. The applicant Compass One LLC is the record owner of the premises commonly known as 70-72 Marbledale Road, Tuckahoe, New York, and is known on a tax map of the Village of Tuckahoe as Section 35, Block 2, Lot 1, the premises. The applicant has received the necessary variances from the Village of Tuckahoe Zoning Board and has provided all documents, plans, materials to this board, so as this board can make a proper review for the subdivision application pursuant to Section 7-2 of the Village of Tuckahoe Zoning Code. The applicant owns a single lot at 70-72 Marbledale Road in Tuckahoe. One, on the existing lot, there exists an operational business, pause and play, pet resort, and training center, and a vacant industrial building. Applicant is seeking to expand pause and play, pet resort, and training center into the vacant industrial building. The applicant will demolish the remainder of the industrial building and create a newly formed lot. Intermittent landscaping and fencing will be provided along the boundary of the newly formed vacant lot. The applicant will also create a new parking area that will be part on the existing business's lot and the newly formed lot. We find that the proposed subdivision is appropriate and will enhance Marbledale corridor as the applicant will be demolishing an underutilized vacant industrial building, thereby opening it up for redevelopment. Demolishing the building will help to improve the streetscape and pedestrian conditions, in particular at the Jackson Avenue intersections where the existing driveway will be removed. The applicant has revised initial plans and the planning board recommendation to allow for future user of the new lot to access a shared way. This design provides for a more efficient use of off-street parking. The design provides more parking options for a site that is already constrained by irregular geometry and steep slopes in the rear. This approach may also eliminate the need for an additional curb cut along Marbledale Road for future users of the newly formed lot. The parking area shown on the plans will require a cross easement that will allow both lots to access the parking area. The applicant shall submit the proposed easement to the village attorney for review prior to filing same with the county clerk. Further, as required by the village code, zoning code, the applicant is required to either provide park land or pay the village 10% of the value of the newly created lot to be used for parks and recreation. As the applicant is unable to provide park land, he has opted to pay 10% of the value of the newly created lot. The tax assessor of the Village of Tuckahoe has estimated the newly created lot to be valued at $650,000. We agree with this value, and thus the applicant shall, with 30 days of this approval, pay the village $65,000 to satisfy its burden under 7-2.2 of the Village of Tuckahoe zoning code. The board is also charged with reviewing and approving the stormwater plan submitted by the applicant. Said plan has been reviewed by the village's engineer, Anthony Oliveri from AI Engineers, Inc., Dolph Rothfeld Engineering Division, and there are a number of outstanding issues as detailed in the memorandum circulated by Anthony Oliveri dated April 14, 2021. This approval is conditioned upon the applicant satisfying all outstanding issues addressed in said memorandum and any further requirements that be required by Mr. Oliveri. If there are substantial changes to the site plan that are required after the applicant has complied with all requirements of Mr. Oliveri's, then applicant must come back before this board to approve any substantial changes. Any minor changes can be approved by this board's chairman. Further, applicants shall continue to be responsible to pay the village consultants until the condition is satisfied. Therefore, based on the plan and the view of this board, we approve the subdivision of lots 70-72 Marbledale Road and impose the condition that have been discussed herein. Lastly, that every representation made to this board by the applicant is a condition of this approval, dated April 20, 2021. I make a motion to approve this project. Can I have a second, please? Sorry about this.
Second, whatever you want.
Okay.
Nancy, please.
Commissioner Nirenberg,
Four.
Commissioner Barra,
4,
Commissioner Carpenter,
4.
Commissioner Scholes,
4.
and Chairman Leo.
In favor. All right, good luck, guys. Hope you much success in your plans with the plug and play, and also hopefully we can build something nice on the newly created plot. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Bill, Gary, for all your help. We appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
Thank you guys very much, everyone. Really appreciate it.
All right. So before we leave tonight, I know Commissioner Height Norday has resigned from the board. I'd like to thank her for the years of her service to the board. She was been a pleasure to work with, and she will be missed. So I again like to thank her for her time on this board. All right. So at this point, since we have no other business before the board, I make a motion to close this meeting. Have a second, please. Sure. Have a great week.